EGM Network.
Hey, we're back again. Podcast number 18, Jesse. Can you believe it?
I know it. Yeah, an 18.
Yeah, this is going to be 18. About bad capitalism part 3. I was only planning on doing 2 parts, but I dug into something else and I found, well, there's another part that we should probably look at, right?
That's right.
You know, Sir Paladin and Jesse, we sell those tax certificates, right?
Yeah.
In the third party market, right? Matter of fact, I just bought a bunch this past month to kill myself. Up at 4 o'clock in the morning, checking all that stuff up.
Okay.
Anyway, I take the risk. If you buy it from me, you take the risk. Okay, just pass that right over you. And as always, you know, I deal with the evergreen media here. You know.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, these guys are fabulous. You know, it's I send this guy junk and he turns it into a miracle broadcast every time. And I never leave home without my American Express card. And I won't do a podcast without Jess. I mean, he's like super duper. I call him Jesse James. That's how good he is.
Thanks, Bill.
And Jess, you know this is podcast number 18. I always ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
Boston Red Sox, number 18.
Number 18. Was that Jim Rice?
No.
Okay.
Well, I go back. Maybe it was.
Go back? Okay.
1967,
1968. A little before my time, but yeah. We'll see. No. Who is number 18?
Elston Howard.
Okay.
You know the name Elston Howard?
I've never heard of him, no.
He used to play for the Yankees. He played 2 years, 67 and 68 with the Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
In 67, they won the pennant because Elston Howard was the catcher. He was an old guy, and he was absolutely fabulous.
Okay.
So, we always loved Elston Howard. He managed the Boston Red Sox pitchers over the top. And Jesse, I got a bone to pick with you, you know?
With me?
Yeah. I checked in here on Monday or something. I was going to bring a little envelope in, and I was looking for you, and I heard you weren't around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I took some time off on Monday, took the kids to Universal.
Universal, yeah. Hey, thanks a lot. I thought you would have invited me, and I was a little disappointed when I heard you were gone. I didn't even know you were gone, you know.
Hey, when I become a billionaire, I'll take you to Universal too, Bill.
Okay, that sounds like a plan, Jess. A billionaire. Hey, everybody knows I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm an American. And I think if everybody looks at themselves as an American, you might have a different view on your life and how your politics should work. As an American, we always deserve a lot better, don't you think so, Jess?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people run around call global warming a hoax, and I'll tell you, I'm an advocate of clean air, clean water, and good life.
Yeah, definitely.
Show us the picture there, Justin. What do we get any information on?
Back to that, yeah. So, so this is the global warming video from NASA. As you can see, the planet has warmed up considerably all over the planet over the past 50, 75 years.
Yeah.
It is definitely warmed up. That is your empirical evidence. You can't argue with evidence. You can't argue with science. So there it is.
NASA, too. I think that's one of those top quality agencies within the country that they cut stuff, but they'll probably cut this out pretty soon, too, you know? Basically, they don't. Our president doesn't believe in wind. He doesn't believe in solar. He believes in burning coal to generate electricity, burning natural gas to generate electricity, burning oil to generate electricity. All that stuff in the end is going to damage the oceans and the environment. It's just your conclusion, right? The other stuff is clean. And I don't know if you want to go there, but I think I really do. But he's got a lot of these big backers sending these super PACs a lot of money that he personally benefits from. So he'd like to keep it just the way it is. Pollute the world and let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So how are billionaires killing 60 Minutes? That's yours, right, Josh?
All right, yeah. Well, before we get to 60 Minutes, do you want to talk more about Trump has axed this $368 million ocean monitoring system?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I'm glad you're here. Yes, there we go, right? No wind, no solar. He basically, this is a system that will pick up contaminations in the ocean from burning coal, gas, and oil. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you can't test for it, it doesn't exist. That's the philosophy of Donald Trump. Okay?
Right. We saw that during COVID, too.
That's right.
If you can't test for it,
it doesn't exist. It'll be gone in a week.
Yeah.
And then moving on, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next slide, yeah.
Yeah, can you read the slide?
I will read. Yeah, I'll read that first slide. Yeah. So Trump just axed the $368 million ocean monitoring system. More than 900 ocean data instruments are slated for removal after the National Science Foundation moved to dismantle the system scientists used to track oceans, climate, marine ecosystems, and powerful currents.
Yeah, it's the climate. They don't want you to know they're contaminating the climate.
Yeah.
The next one, Jess, is President.
Yeah, so Craig McLean, the National OAA, the Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration scientist, said, quote, "This reflects the further lack of understanding that the current administration has of scientific value and scientific merit. By dismantling such a system, we push the United States back yet again into a rear seat in global scientific leadership."
Well, you know, if you watch one of our previous podcasts where China versus USA, you'll see China's all over this clean energy stuff, and you can see the United States rejects it, okay?
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. It's not that they don't have an understanding. They know what they're doing. They're going to pollute the environment, and they're going to keep, producing gas, oil, and coal. Big energy runs the country.
Mm-hmm. And then runs our government. Yeah, the big money.
Government. That's right, the big money, yeah.
Yeah. So this reflects the further lack of understanding that the current administration has of scientific value and scientific merit. Craig McLean told the New York Times, the Coastal Endurance Array is expected to be among the first equipment removed, cutting off long-running data from waters off of Oregon and Washington.
There's absolutely no reason to remove this stuff. It's in place. It costs hundreds of millions of dollars to put it in place.
Yeah.
And they decided to take it out because they don't want anybody to know.
Right. They're going backwards. The National Science Foundation will remove ocean equipment manually, with the Coastal Endurance Array being the first to go. And the Ocean Observatories initiative was designed to provide continuous ocean data for researchers, engineers, educators, and climate scientists. NSF has described the move as part of a broader infrastructure strategy, but critics warn that losing long-term measurements make it harder to track ocean acidification, extreme events, and climate change in real time.
Yeah. Acidification of the ocean is a real serious problem, or it can be. As time goes on, it will be. Mm-hmm. And they call it climate change. I call it global warming. We always introduce the show with the podcast with global warming. It's there. The more of these toxic chemicals that come out of these fossil fuels, it just contaminates everything.
Yeah, it's going to make the planet warmer and warmer.
Warmer. You got that right.
900 ocean data tools that cost $370 million to install will now be removed. And that's taxpayer money to install it, taxpayer money to remove it. The plan was for the buoys to remain in place for another 15 years, but removal operations are now in progress.
Yeah, isn't that unbelievable?
It really is.
Why remove it if you're getting good information out of it? It's like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's how our government runs,
That's it right now, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
So that's the shame. That's the shame in that. In removing those ocean data collection devices.
Yeah. Hey, Jesse, remember I gave you that special thing?
A special thing?
Yeah. Can you skip to that? Because based on time, we've got a lot to get to. So
sure,
if you can, if that doesn't screw you up too much.
Are we talking about the Steve Bannon clip? What special thing?
Yeah, Steve Bannon.
All
yeah,
right.
see, I got to tell you, before we even started, Steve Bannon, I got a lot of respect for this guy. He's a brilliant guy, and he knows what he's doing. And he's pretty upfront about what he's doing. I may not like what he's doing, but I got a lot of respect for him. He's not hiding. He's out there telling you the way it is.
That's true. You could say a lot about him.
No, really. But he's a really bright guy.
He is
He's a lot smarter than me, I'll tell you that much.
So here's Steve Bannon on flooding the zone.
I said, all we have to do is flood the zone. Every day we hit them with three things. They'll bite on one, and we'll get all of our stuff done. Bang, bang, bang. These guys will never be able to recover.
4 years later, that's still the strategy. And guess what? Bannon says it's going great. He told the Washington Post, quote, "It's working. It's just stunning to me what they're doing, and it's not getting covered because it's too much. They're overwhelming the system." So yeah, they're going to keep flooding the zone.
That's right. They're going to flood the zone. And that is what President Trump has taken into his second term here. He's flooding the zone puts out a whole bunch of crap. He wants the news media focusing on the junk, the crap, and then he's trying to sneak in all the other stuff that they really want to benefit their their donors and their super PACs.
Yeah.
So I look at that as and I'm starting to think we're going to come up with another clip. Jesse, Pam Bondi resigned, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think she resigned?
I think because she wouldn't have to testify to her crimes.
She ended up testifying. And
she did, though, yeah.
And she said the guy that's coming up in the next clip had total responsibility for releasing the Epstein information, and he really didn't. Anyway, I think she resigned. She might have got a lot of pressure, basically, to give Donald Trump immunity and his family immunity going forward on all the crimes they committed. Okay? So he probably said, this is what you're going to do, and she probably said no. So, and Donald Trump, he's been a scammer his entire life. He happens to be our president, and he's scamming us to death. That $10 billion lawsuit, that's one of those things, flood the zone.
Yeah.
Put that out there, get a lot of eyeballs on it. Doesn't mean anything, right? And then the judge says you can't do it. They say, oh, okay, I'll buy by the judge, which is a lot of crap.
Right.
The $1.8 million settlement was just another distraction. Flood the zone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really care about the $1.8 billion, right? We have a clip to show coming up what he really cares about.
That's right.
The IRS
So the
dropped the
blanket
investigation
immunity
to the family.
Is not something that you're going to move back on?
It's not blanket immunity. That's not true.
It is.
No, it's not.
Not true.
There was a settlement that the IRS entered into with President Trump and others, his family and his companies. As part of that settlement, as is customary in IRS settlements,
You're an attorney.
there's the separate AG order.
Friends, listen to what is being said
Listen to this lady.
Today here. This is really pretty extraordinary, that we are going to forever barred and precluded from examining or prosecuting the president, his sons, and the Trump organization's current tax filings. Simply put, you just gave the president and his family a tax immunity to the tune of about $100 million.
Not true.
Well, yes, you have, my
No,
friend.
it's not true.
That's a New York Times article, folks. You can actually look that up on the internet, and you should, because if you read the entire article, there's a heck of a lot of information that I could spend an hour talking about here, but we have to keep moving on, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, that's
Maybe
right.
fortunately, right?
Yeah. And that voice was Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general.
Yeah,
by the way.
Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche is the guy handling the Epstein files, too. He's doing a hell of a job with that stuff, too. Just can't find it. Otherwise, he'd be putting them out there, Jess. I'm telling you.
I'm sure.
The
Yeah.
Trump Epstein files.
Yeah.
Hey, the real game here was, flood the zone, and then the real game here is no IRS audit.
Yeah.
The family may never have been trading inside information based on, potential president announcements that were about to happen. Big trades were put in the option market just before, and they all went the right way. And I know there's investigations going on it, and maybe something has surfaced, and they say, hey, we want that immunity for the family and all the companies. How many companies did he have? How many LLCs do they have? Do they have 50 companies? I mean, when they say companies, what does it really mean? Who knows, right?
Right.
They will never be prosecuted if the IRS can never do an audit. Now, as an American, you pay your taxes, Jess?
I do.
I pay my taxes, and it hurts.
Yeah.
But they should be audited. Who the hell are they, right?
Right.
Why should they get away with that? I don't know.
Why would they be above the law?
Yeah, so my message to you is wake up, America. You're getting screwed by our president, right? He's a great guy. I think the guy should be impeached for what he's doing.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. I'm not even going to ask you for your opinion. That's my opinion.
All right.
He's out of control, without a doubt. He's not good for our country, in my viewpoint. He's terrible. The system is rigged. He said that a million times. You remember just Drain the Swamp?
I do remember.
You remember Drain the Swamp, right?
Yeah, I remember that promise.
Well, I have a new term here. The swamp has gotten bigger, more fraud than ever, and it's the Trump families that's doing it.
Yeah.
Drain the swamp. If you agree with anything of this information, you need to contact your senators and House of Representatives and let them know, hey, you'll never vote for these guys again. They got to do something. They can't let these people get away with this stuff, without a doubt. Right. And once again, I say, look up the article. It's on the internet, and it's got a lot of detailed information in it, and you might get an education of what this guy's doing to you in the country. Yes, we're going to move on to the regular podcast now, right?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. All right, so so we're going to talk about Bill Ackman.
That's right. One of those other billionaires. Yeah. Nice guys. Nice billionaires.
Well, yeah. In late 2023, Larry Summers publicly criticized Bill Ackman's demands to release the names of Harvard students who had signed a controversial letter criticizing Israel. Summers likened Bill Ackman's tactics of vilifying individuals to McCarthyism that occurred in the 1950s.
You know, when I think about that action, McCarthy was a terrible guy.
Yeah.
And when you relate this is to the defense of Israeli war crimes. Anyone who speaks out against Israel will be punished if Bill Ackman gets his way. The Bill Ackman is so pro-Israel, it's actually sinful, Jesse.
Yeah. Claudine Gay, our next, person in this story here. Claudine Gay, there's a picture of her. Yeah. She served as the president of Harvard University in 2023. She took office July 1st, 2023, making history as the 30th president of Harvard and the first black person to hold the position. Bill Ackman, pictured here, he's the founder of the hedge fund Pershing Square Capital Management. He was the most vocal and aggressive billionaire critic. He used social media to launch a daily, relentless campaign demanding Gay's firing. Ackman publicly labeled her as a diversity hire, aggressively amplified the plagiarism allegations against her.
You don't get a job in Harvard as a diversity hire.
Right.
Okay, you might get some consideration, but you don't get a job unless you deserve it.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are like top shelf people in there. They run a great organization to do great medical research. They find a lot of cures for cancer and stuff like that. They're all over this stuff. It's just an unbelievable organization.
Yeah.
Jesse.
So how would Bill Ackman know that to be true in his mind? That she's a diversity hire.
I have no idea how the hell he would know that. I mean, that's like reaching up. Oh, yeah, there must be a diversity. She's black and she's a female, I guess, right, Jess?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So let's look at Peter Hegseth and see if he is discriminating against.
Before about that,
please do.
When we come to the Trump administration, they don't seem to like females, okay? Because Pam Bondi's gone and Tulsi Gabbard. Those are people in his administration. They're gone, right?
Right.
Okay. So President Trump basically was chasing Harvard, to get rid of this person as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And once again, she's black and she's a female. Those are maybe two strikes against her to start with.
In his book, yeah.
And then we have something coming up with Peter Hegseth.
Yeah. So Peter Hegseth, the U.S. Secretary of War. He stripped 9 Navy officers, including women and black service members, from a promotion list last month, resulting in an all-male, overwhelmingly white slate of 22 advancing as nominees to become 1-star A admirals. What do you think, Bill?
Well, just I recall he has also fired 22 senior military officers.
All within the same week, I think it was.
Yeah,
right
much,
before we attacked Iran. Yeah,
that's right. In we're going into Iran and we get rid of all these guys. Basically, most of them were black and female. Is basically what that was, right?
I think so. Yeah. A New York Times article reported that the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth's actions, quote, appear to violate the rules governing the promotion system that is supposed to be apolitical and merit-based. The 9 Navy officers blocked by Hegseth, 3 are women and 2 are black men.
Yeah, Exit. He doesn't follow any rules. He just does what he wants, and the president's all fine with that, which is really terrible. Yeah, it's really gone rogue. The United States government's gone rogue.
Has anything like this happened before, where the government has kind of gone rogue like this?
It sounds all familiar. It's probably because of the developments come on the heels of Hegseth also blocking promotions of 4 Army colonels, 2 women, and 2 black men who were slated to become 1-star generals. So look like many Americans, great again is moving our country's views of African Americans and females back 100 years. Segregation is raising its ugly head.
Unfortunately, that appears to be true.
So, Jesse, let's go back and look at Bill Ackman again.
All right, Bill Ackman again. He openly pressured Harvard's governing board to remove Claudine Gay.
This is just an example of a billionaire suppressing free speech, okay, and attacking people that because they don't have pro-Israel views. That's what Bill Ackman's all about right here. Students protesting war crimes committed by Israel, in Bill Ackman's eyes, is unacceptable, and that's wrong.
It is. Bill Ackman has also positioned himself as one of Wall Street's most vocal defenders of Israel's attack on Palestinian people, donating to pro-Israel organizations and using his social media platforms to denounce what he calls, quote, anti-Israel extremism in universities, system, and political movements.
Yeah, the students are protesting genocide against the Palestinian people. It's as simple as that, but you can twist that around any way you want, I guess. Israel's complete destruction of Gaza. The Gaza destruction looks worse than Berlin, Germany at the end of World War II. And I think we might even have something to show you folks on that.
We do, yeah.
Is his occupation of this to involve U.S. troops? How would Hamas respond to that?
Yeah, there it is there.
Yeah, there's the destruction you can see of Gaza.
I mean, really, it's crazy, and students are protesting Israel's doing that, and Bill Ackman turns that into anti-Semitic, and that's crazy, okay? This is America, it's not supposed to work like that. But unfortunately, the president has come down real hard on all these universities. Bill Ackman's attacked everybody with his billions of dollars, right? So it's absolutely terrible. It's apparent to me that Benjamin Netanyahu's goal was to make Gaza unlivable, okay? And he certainly has done that.
Yeah.
The video basically shows how ruthless Benjamin Netanyahu is to destroy Gaza the way he has destroyed it.
Yeah.
And the video is the reason that the students were protesting the genocide that was occurring, okay? And the president attacked the universities by cutting funds to medical research. And I say to myself, why?
Right.
Really, why? Why would he do this? This is my guess. Donations of millions of dollars by Bill Ackman, other Jewish billionaires, their friends, to super PACs that are dedicated to the president. And since the start of Israel's war on Gaza in October 2023, Ackman led a campaign against pro-Palestinian activism on American campuses. Super PACs, Jesse, they ought to be illegal.
I agree.
They're criminal. They're actually criminal, right? How can people give millions of dollars to get somebody elected? I can only give, as an individual, I give like $3,000 or $6,000. This guys can give, look at Musk giving hundreds of millions of dollars to get people elected. They're controlling the government. We need to vote them out. All these people that are supported by them and take their money, vote them out.
I agree with that. Yeah. It's terrible. It's a roadmap to corruption. Yeah. These super PACs. Yeah.
That's right.
Bill, I heard that 20% of Americans get their news from TikTok. Have you heard?
Yeah, that's my understanding. There are many videos depicting, in TikTok, there were many videos depicting the war crimes by Israel placed on TikTok platform. Anti-Defamation League and Israel Zionists did not like what was being posted on TikTok. Even if it's true, they didn't like it. It's bad PR.
Right.
And Donald Trump's a PR kind of guy, if you know what I mean. Remember, Donald J. Trump was going to get rid of TikTok in his first term, right?
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, but now our president loves TikTok. And once again, I wonder why.
Right.
Let me see if I can tell you here. This is what I come up with. TikTok now is in the hands of Larry Ellison, David Ellison, and Michael Dell. Check these guys out, boy. See what you can find. You can be sure that these war crime videos against the Palestinian people by Israel will not be displayed on TikTok platform anymore going forward. Okay, they basically have taken over the media, and that's a big 20% news, and that's 20% of Americans. Imagine how many are like under 35 that do from there, right, Jess?
Yeah, and that's just the people who admit it to a pollster. It could be a lot more.
Could be a lot more. That's right.
Yeah.
You can also see we did this with the Bad Capitalism Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
You should take a look at that.
Yeah. Please review that
episode. You can see stuff on the Israeli war and how all this stuff is being taken over by billionaires. When I say billionaires with hundreds and hundreds of billions, not just $1 billion, right? That's like chump change, I guess. So basically, that podcast that will cover the government lie of national security as a reason TikTok had to be owned by an American company. The real reason is controlling what young people see, hear, and tell. If we tell that lie 1,000 times on TikTok, it will become the truth. And that's what they want to do. They want to take it over and change the messaging of TikTok, suppress free speech.
Yeah. So moving on, in December 2023, going back a little bit, Bill Ackman demanded the resignation of Harvard's president over the university's handling of Gaza protests, and later called for a purge of the diversity, equity, and inclusion programs that he linked to anti-Israel bias.
How the heck would he know? Those things were leading into that bias. I can't figure out how he's just making this stuff up. It sounds like the president. You know how the president kind of makes up statistics and thinks he's talking. Yeah. I think this guy's doing the same thing.
Just flooding the zone.
Billionaires want to prevent minorities from obtaining opportunities of a lifetime. There's a term in the purge of diversity. I don't know what the hell that means. Jess, you got any idea what the purge of diversity means?
Sounds to me like make everything white.
Yeah, make everything white. I think you might have that. It's a very interesting term.
Yeah.
By the way, Jess, USA owes these folks 40 acres and a mule.
Yeah.
This was a Civil War reward that they signed up, all these black guys, and went to war.
Right.
Picked up a gun and fought the Confederates.
Yeah.
Their reward going to be just 40 acres and a mule. Of course, they never got it.
No, they never did.
So if they get a little education instead, that's a terrible thing, right?
Well,
Bill, listen. How did the New York mayor race turn out, Jess?
Oh yeah, the mayor Mamdani, a Democrat socialist assemblyman, represented Queens. Mamdani, who became the New York's first Muslim mayor, has been a sharp critic of Israel's war on Gaza and of United States complicity in it, calling it genocide against the Palestinian people. Now, did Bill Ackman donate to the New York City mayor's race, Bill?
Yeah, with a little bit of research he did. There's something called Defend New York City, which is a special super PAC again. You know how nice those super PACs are.
Right.
There was a guy, Jason Meister. He was a former campaign advisor to Donald Trump. There's a connection here. You see how this goes around. He also worked for the Ackman Ziff Realty Estate Group. Bill Ackman donated $1 million. Was the single largest contributor to the super PAC. It seems that Bill Ackman did oppose a Muslim candidate. Mamdani was a Muslim speaking out about genocide in Israel, just like the students protesting at the universities.
Bill, do you know about Jonathan Ross?
Yeah, I do. I think we all know about him. We didn't necessarily know name, but
okay.
He's a nice guy, custom enforcement agent. He shot Renee Nicole Good.
So Bill Ackman, how did he react to the Renee Good murder?
Well,
and I could guess, but I'll let you tell us.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Hey, Bill Ackman, he donated $10,000 to a legal defense fund for Jonathan Ross. Now, I look at this and say, what the hell's wrong with this country? If you saw you saw the videos, Jess. I mean, really, how can you say this guy needs a legal defense? You know,
I know it.
Yeah, $10,000, right? And by the way, that legal defense has raised over $800,000 for this guy.
Yes. Almost a millionaire for this thug.
Yeah, and maybe more for the life. Yeah, that's a number I got. That's 4 or 5 weeks old.
Right.
It could be more.
Yeah.
And hey, we're gonna have to wrap this up. So let me say a few things in departing here, Jess, if that's okay with you.
Please do. Yeah.
It's apparent Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu, our president Donald J. Trump, and Jewish billionaires and their friends want to suppress free speech in America. All you have to do is take a look at my last 3 podcasts. You connect the dots, you'll see it's all there. Rule 1 of dictators' book is control the media, control the message. And that's what they're doing. They're absolutely doing that. Contact your senators and House of Representatives. Voice your concern about what's happening in the so-called free press of America, because, quite frankly, it's getting taken over and controlled by 5 big corporations. The press is not free anymore, and it's controlled by the billionaire corporations and dictators. Democracy dies when you are silent on these issues. So if you don't respond to these issues, you're going to get what you deserve. And that's about all I have to say, Jess. It's been a pleasure. And I want to tell you, this guy's unbelievable.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
No, I'm serious. I'm not making this up, Jess. You surprise me how good you are every time I come in here.
Well, thanks a lot, Bill. I appreciate it.
It's true.
All right. Wake Up America with Bill Crafton. We go live on YouTube every Friday at 1 p.m. So catch us at Wake Up America with Bill Crafton on YouTube. We'll see you next time. Wake Up America.
Thank you, Jess.